Are we live?
We're live.
We're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the, what do we call this thing now?
The Super Dwarf Show.
The Super Dwarf Show with Rob on his way out. Usually the guests walk in those TV shows, but we walk out.
Give me a minute. I'll walk back.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. We might need some super chat dances. You guys get ready.
We got one guy doing karate.
Oh, yeah. We do have a couple of super chat dances.
Because I can try and pull it up here. I'll work on trying to pull it up here so we can do that.
Hello.
Hey!
Am I late?
He's back.
Yeah, I've got him in here. If you guys want to, so basically what we do, if you guys want us to cover your chat on this live stream, throw out a super chat. It helps us continue to do what we do and bring you guys all of this free content. And then we'll do a silly little dance or show off a dance from one of you guys in the audience. So if you want to be in front of, I don't know, what do we usually get? 1 to 2, maybe 3,000 people watching these things?
400.
Yeah.
400.
Here,
400 people watching your stupid dance, Rob says.
I'm going to unmute my mic and we're going to see that we have the terrifying echo noise.
All right. They'll tell you in 20 seconds. Whew. I'm sitting over here today. I'm expecting an important email to come in, so I'm like...
Shout. Yeah, if you're close to your mic, you don't have to shout too much.
Oh, thanks.
I know you're naturally...
I'm just projecting.
Projecting. Here, my mic's
and,
pretty quiet.
and highly caffeinated.
Yeah? How many
Yeah.
Red Bulls deep are you right now?
Just one. Just one. But I've been at it for a while. We pulled an all-nighter last night, so busy stuff over here. When I say we, I mean just me.
I was going to say I had no part in this all-nighter.
That's right. But enough about me. I guess we can get into however much of that you want. But Thomas, why don't you tell us what we're doing today?
All right. Oh, we got a super chat.
Woohoo! All right, I'm gonna bring the dance up. You have a fancy technology way to do this, or should I just throw it on here?
We'll save the fancy technology way for next week.
Next week. Let's see. Favorite. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. I fancy technology. Put it in an album somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Oh no, where's my karate one? I've got this one. This was kind of funny. Wasn't so much a super chat dance. I'll go like this.
Here, 1 sec. It's not focusing on you.
Do any of you guys have retics that watch retics on the screen? Should we do it again?
Do it again.
You need to cue up some music when we do a super chat dance.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that without copywriting ourselves.
Well, just get some royalty free, man.
We got another super chat.
Royalty free.
Sticker.
Are we going to read the super chats? What's up,
yes.
Mr. Bob Evans? How's it going? I know that I have my cue card. All right, let's see. We'll just let you guys read that one. Thanks, Rob. Glad you're here, buddy.
Welcome.
Where's my cool karate super chat dance? I need to bring... Oh, here we go.
Like Kung Fu
Found it?
Oh, yeah. Yep, here it is.
Here, hold it up.
This one goes for a little while.
Bring it closer.
So we can go ahead and as we go through here. This is actually my buddy. He went and actually trained with a bunch of, I think it was Tibetan monks for like 8 months or something like that.
Tibet?
Yeah.
You know who goes to Tibet?
Who?
Nobody.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that what's that actor that did the Tibet thing?
Tom Cruise.
No.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, thank you. Brad Pitt goes
It's
to
like
Tibet.
the same person.
Me and him?
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I get that a lot.
Super chat. What's our super chat? Bring it. What do we got?
All right, we got, it's just sending some love from Am Fractals. So
Thank you,
Am Fractals.
Absolutely.
And Bob Evans sent a dancing avocado, I believe.
OPS Snowy Days says, "What's up? A dancing avocado." That's great.
That's the only kind of avocados I like.
Oh man. Okay. Well, so guys, this show is about connecting with you. We're going to answer a bunch of questions that were put on our community post from last week. I'm getting all kinds of weird prompts from.
You don't have to shout into the mic.
Oh,
You're pretty close to it.
he's got the mic set up for his voice, not mine.
That's
So
true.
we've got. So yeah, basically what we're getting into here is we're going over your guys' questions on the community post from last week. We're gonna post another one of those the second that this show ends. So if I didn't get to your question, throw it on there, and that's where we'll start from next week. Or you can super chat, and we'll stop everything and address it now. Guys, this is the kind of show that you want to do the. See you later, Rob.
Let's see it. Let's see it tomorrow.
Rob did a lot of cleaning over the last couple days. Didn't even leave us with a whole bunch of dirty dishes this time, right? Or clean dishes is what we normally have. Clean
Dirty
dishes
some?
and dirty cages.
I can dirty some right now.
No, that's all right. We're good. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. See everybody in the TV world.
If you haven't figured it out by now, this is the kind of show that you turn on and clean your snake room, or snuggle up with a loved one, eat some dinner, popcorn, whatever, that kind of thing, and see where it goes. But let's get into some of this stuff. I know you guys had some controversial questions that Thomas was excited to ask me. Samantha says bye.
All right, so we're gonna start off with KG_in_Tennessee from Instagram.
Okay.
Says, I'm curious on Garrett's thoughts of regulating ownership of certain species of herps.
Ooh. Available and now or not.
Set our stream disconnected. Oh, we're back.
So, when you're talking about regulations, some of the stuff, like you have endangered species, I think you definitely need regulations to protect those animals. Now, I don't think the Endangered Species Act and the types of regulations they have are always the best, not even for conservation, because it stops animals from getting together for breeding programs and stuff like that. So a lot of the regulations that are on the books, I think, could be, reworked and done, but you definitely want to protect those kinds of animals. As far as, I think, what people are talking about is regulating animals for their own good. Like if you say, hey, there's a lot of dogs in the pounds these days in animal shelters, so we should have less people having dogs as pets. That's a conversation that's never come up. You know what I mean? But with reptiles, you say, hey, look, there's a lot of unwanted reptiles or animals that, reptiles that aren't taken care of as much. We should regulate those, especially certain species. So the interesting thing about that is that I think a lot of the stuff that they do regulate is a pretty small percentage of the problem. But I don't know, some of it makes sense. You gotta have some common sense stuff. The first thing is, I think if you are going to regulate stuff, you need industry people to do that for you, because you wouldn't want to have a lawmaker who's literally completely ignorant to the fact that there even is a reptile industry making laws about the reptile industry and how it should be regulated. So a governing body that is created and run from within the reptile industry that works with the government is probably a good way to do that. Enter USARC. That's literally what they're doing. Super chat. All right. What's going on? Herp Panel Forums. How you doing, buddy? Good to see ya.
Herp Panel Forum says, I'm tuning in from work with no audio and
There you
poor
go.
reception. So just want to say hi to the chat and look forward to catching the stream when I'm off.
Absolutely.
So we'll just wave at 'em.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, come check it out afterwards. So yeah, I would actually like to see a lot more stuff on that. It's interesting when you ever see a post. Well, I just saw one the other day. I think it was, I can't remember which reptile show it was. It was a recent one. It might have been a herps show, which I've never been to, but I've heard is a pretty good show. But they were selling baby Mortlet's crocodiles at this show. And the thing about selling a reptile at a show like that is, you're relying on impulse buys to do that. Now, that might not be such a bad thing if you get... It's a great way to bring new people into the industry. Let's say you have, mom, dad, and little Susan, and Susan for her birthday has always wanted a pet reptile or something. And so they see a reptile show advertisement on a billboard and they decide to go get one. If little Susan can pick up an animal that she's able to, let's say, buy all the supplies at the show right there that she needs to take care of that for its entire life, then that's a very great pet trade kind of. Those are the things that that the show promoters should be encouraging, like, hey, this is captive bred only. These are animals that are great for pet trade animals. And it's kind of a funny thing because when I was a kid, we went to, I'm rambling a bit here, but we went to reptile shows and you had a huge diversity of species. Now you have like 5 species in every color and pattern variety. And a lot of people complained about that, especially like I was hearing it a lot in the early 2000s where the kind of the older generation was going to these shows and complaining that they didn't have the diversity. But at the same time, a lot of that diversity, as I said, was imported stuff that are sold to the pet trade. That's a really, really hard use of natural resources when you take an animal from the wild, remove it from a breeding population, stress it to all get out, and then put it in the hands of a new or potentially new or inexperienced owner. So stuff like that is, that's really, really hard use, and probably the first place to start kind of looking at industry guided regulations. Like, I don't know if there's like quotas or things where you apply for a permit or you put in for a lottery if you want to get, like, for example, we work with a lot of rare localities, right, Thomas?
Sure.
And I would love to get things like, I would love to have another male Tombalongan that's unrelated to our bloodlines. That would be fantastic. But if I had to put in for a lottery to pull an import permit to get a retic and they pick so many people per year, then I think those kinds of things can kind of, funnel the animals to where they should go. I don't have any issues with bringing in wild-caught blood if the intention is to breed and establish them so that you can provide good pets moving on for people from captive bred stock. But the idea of like mass importing and distributing to people who they only ever intend to have one of those animals and try it, and they end up with a wild-caught retic or whatever, is kind of ridiculous. Super chat, who's this one for? Annoying Snake Mom. That's not annoying. Little fox with a heart. That's very cool. Thank you. Awesome. Let me know, Annoying Snake Mom, if you have a question for me. I'll answer it for you right here.
And
Caitlin says hi. Hi from Australia. What's up, Caitlin?
Justin from Family Jewels says I stopped everything to listen to the Yoda Masters speak.
All right, well, Justin, bring it. What do we want to hear? So yeah, as far as what do I think about it, that's such a huge thing. We could probably talk the whole hour. But in general, I think that the industry needs to have like good standard practices. Gosh, you wouldn't believe how hard it is. I mean, when I was younger, people had seen like super dwarfs, for example, being marketed as super dwarfs and then outgrowing the sizes that people expected out of those animals. So they made, I think it's a pretty reasonable and loose minimum standard that if you're going to call something a super dwarf and it's a locality cross, like all the morphs in super dwarfs are crossed. And so if you're going to call it that, it has to at least be 50% super dwarf. It can't be like, oh yeah, one of this snake's grandparents was a super dwarf and all the rest of the genetics are mainland. That'd be a 25% super dwarf. But here we are today. I kind of stand on that and preach it from this YouTube platform all the time. And we get a lot of kickback from people who are like, well, I can breed really low percentage stuff that's easy to get into and still be like, you know how breeders are always like, we carry the highest quality, specializing in elite reptiles. And then meanwhile, their breeding practices are things that are like not even meeting minimum standards. So I think if we can establish minimum standards and hold people accountable to that in a respectful way, that raises the bar for the industry, then a lot of that stuff goes away. And then if we formed like kind of specialized regulatory bodies within the industry to do that kind of, to kind of help with the governing of this stuff, then that really works well together. We did it for our city here in Pittsburgh, and I have to give most of the credit to Tom Kelly. But, we met with the city council woman, Kim Paws.
Kimberly Elizabeth.
Hey, Kim.
That's the one and only.
How's it going? They were proposing bans because they were finding alligators abandoned in rivers here in Pittsburgh, which is absurd. That's disgusting and ridiculous that anyone would do that. Meanwhile, as the news stories are rolling about abandoned alligators, here at local reptile shows, you could find the little less than $100 baby alligators in a tub. And it's like, Come on, guys. I was walking past them to go to the
Super
bathroom during one of these events, and the vendor was saying, oh, no, they actually only get like 4 or 5 feet if you don't feed them very much. You keep them in a small cage. And I'm like, what is this, 1970s carnivals? Come on, guys. Flexing pythons. What's up, dude? Yeah. Favorite holdback this year. Uh-oh, we might have to go on the road for this one. Are you ready for that? Do we have another camera angle?
We don't.
All right, I'll have to bring one in. You want to carry that? No.
I can carry it like 2 feet further.
That's probably not worth it. I'll go get a favorite holdback. You trade me seats. Ready?
I didn't set up my other camera.
Come on. You're good.
All right. What's up, guys? How are we doing today? I wanted to give Flexing Pythons just a little shout out. He put out a reaction video to one of our recent videos, and it was pretty funny. Go check him out. So, welcome to our chat. Thanks for all the nice things you said. What's up, Justin? Also in Boise, Idaho. Hey, Kim, sweet shoes.
Here you go. You want to show it off?
Oh, here. No, you showed off all of the camera.
All right. Okay, I'm going to have to go with this guy. I don't know how to answer this question for you, but this is the animal I find myself looking at like 3 times a week. He's very stupid. This is a goat line, so it's a Sulawesi male bred to a pure super dwarf female. And these are, how old are these now, Thomas?
I have no idea.
Just let me pull it up real quick because it's pretty amazing how small these guys are staying. Banteng. So these hatched in April. Month 4. So these are 5 months old now, and he's almost as big as my finger. And I feed this guy probably more than everyone else because I'm like, grow, get your color in. I want to watch, which is, I'm not like crazy power feeding him or whatever, but he's always the guy that kind of gets the extra scraps that someone else didn't eat. And I just love the Sulawesi look on him. If you want to see pictures of all the siblings, you can go on reachoutreptiles.com and check out Clutch 21020. Those are the goat line animals. And I'm very happy because it was an experimental clutch. I didn't know if it would even look good. And, we got some that kind of have the blend of the 2 localities in the worst way. In other words, like they have like really thin, non-distinct lines. The pattern's kind of blended weird to where it's not quite as impressive as the pure super dwarf mother or the Sulawesi father. But this one got everything. I mean, he looks as Sulawesi as can be, but he has like extra saddles, probably twice the number of saddles going down his back that the Sulawesi father did. So it's just like Sulawesi on steroids when it comes to looks and that tiny super dwarf size, which, I've said it here and I'll say it again, and everyone says there's no science to back that up, but I don't know. We've done 40 clutches of nothing but dwarf and super dwarf for the last couple of years, and another 20 clutches for the few years before that, and 10 for the few years before that, going back 20 years, and now 3rd and 4th generation breedings. They stay smaller when they come from the super dwarf, and small size mothers. So this has got to be my most frequented guy, but I really do have a lot of favorites. I think the Annery Karampa could definitely be on that list. I love some of the marble stuff that we've hatched. The Karampa marbles, oh my goodness, are those cool. So quite a few. All right, Thomas, what's our next question? You can ask it from here.
Our next question. I'd have to pull it up. Here, I'll pull it up on your computer so you can read it too. Let me share this with you.
What do we got?
Alright. So when I turn my mic on, you can't shout because then it echoes.
Okay. No guarantees.
That's alright. Alright.
Gina said
Our next
4,
question.
26.
Let's see. Connor JP 55 from our Instagram story question post asked why
Evans, I
super
agree.
dwarfs?
Why super dwarves? That's the question?
Yes.
Why super dwarves? Well,
Big question.
I mean, I think about it a lot, so I can probably be fairly concise. When I started breeding them, they were very misunderstood. They still are by the general public now, but there's quite a few people who've done their homework and really understand what's going on. but they were very very rare but not appreciated. Anyone that had pure localities was breeding them out into morphs, or just keeping them as pets and not trying to preserve those bloodlines. So I could see that they were going away even without the restrictions on importation, that they just really weren't being appreciated at all when I started for the capability of the animal as a key ingredient to domesticating a python species, if you will, is adding that third dimension. Like ball pythons are everywhere, and they're kind of like a really good pet in a lot of ways, but in other ways they are. I mean, if you get a wild caught ball python, it kind of acts and everything the same way a lot of these captive breds do. Whereas, with the retics, having that third dimension of size, not just color and pattern you can breed for, but selectable size, I think was a big deal. So they were really underappreciated. They were the greatest snakes ever. I loved them, and I couldn't find myself stop talking about them. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just specialize in these, and then I could talk about them all the time. So that's what I do. Reptiles and research. I'm going to call you out. Has Lori Torini inspired me to do bigger setups? I love Lori's work. She does great stuff. I'm a 90s kid. We used to say, like, what I want to do is get a retic and put it in a room. So I never liked the cram the snakes in the smallest possible cages scenario. And honestly, the way that we are set up in our breeding room now is very commercialized. But again, we're using, for example, like tubs for baby snakes, like that little guy I just had out, that are meant for adult ball python breeders, and then we're using tubs for like giant animals that are, intended for much bigger snakes, for small little grow ups and things like that. So we try to give them a lot of space. Exercise, activity, and getting outside of the cage time has always been a lot of our beliefs. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they need to. I think that the industry needs to continue to progress, and that we need to push forward without saying, "Hey, everybody that established this industry, you stink and you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about," because obviously they do, and there's a lot we can learn from those people. But I think the flexible-minded new generation has a lot to offer as well, in terms of the way that we do things. And it's just you get little revolutions all the time, right? Like Morph Market was a revolution, for better and for worse. Freedom of information and the ability for everyone to post now gives any hobbyist breeder that no one's ever heard of a platform to sell their animals next to the biggest people, year round, without having to go to a show. Stuff like that. So I think large cage sizes is the next revolution. I mean, we had how many people at that snake discovery competition, Thomas, were building 4 by 2 by 2 foot cages for leopard geckos?
There's at least 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they were, a lot of them were kind of like the younger YouTubers and stuff like that. And I love that. I love that they are encouraging that kind of thing and stuff like that. My thing would be if the kind of the industry standard for a mainland retic attainable cage that you can buy somewhere is an 8 foot by 3 foot cage that's maybe 16 or 18 inches tall. As sad as that is, a snake that's expected to get about 16 feet is put in that. That's proportionately less room that you're giving a snake that is a very active, curious, and, strong athletic animal. You're giving that a proportionately smaller cage than people put when you put a ball python on a CB70, right? So if I can just go as far as to have people take a snake that's a super dwarf that's going to get 6 to 8 foot and put it in a cage like that, I think that's a major win, because a 6 foot snake in a 6 foot cage, even, let's say, is proportionate to the snakes that are pushing 20 feet in a 20 foot shipping container. Would be the same size enclosure. And my thing is, you could put that 20 foot snake and stuff it into a little box, but you're only enjoying it for the color. And we have a ball python industry for that. You know what I mean? If you want a less active snake and the beauty's skin deep and you want to have 1 million of them and just look at all the different colors, you can do that. But retics should have never been that. They weren't meant for that. They're a different kind of a species. So I'm inspired by everybody. Lori is great. You know, her retic came from us. We donated that to her so she could play with them and develop, you know, behavioral studies and stuff with her super dwarf compared to a lot of the other animals. And I'm very proud to say that she had never even considered a retic before that. And she told me before, I don't know if you're watching on here, Lori, you can back me up, but has said that it's become one of your favorites, and especially the favorites of other people who've come over. So I love
Lori
it.
is in the chat.
Woo!
She just said once a snake has experienced time outside of the enclosure and exercised out of their habitat, they usually want to come out more and are less and less satisfied with staying in their enclosures.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is true. Darren Lance, no, I will not be at NARBC this weekend.
Right.
Sorry, bud.
You ready for another question?
Garrett,
This
concise. Yeah, sorry, Hannah. Calling me out. Yeah, what's up?
She knows you too well, even over the internet.
Let's do it.
William Timberlake from our YouTube post said, "Here's my question: What would your argument be to a member of PETA for people being able to have pet snakes like retics? I only ask this as my phone has been sending me PETA anti-snakes as pets articles and wondered what your take would be. Love your retics. Wish I had one, but my woman won't let me have one. And your enclosure on Snake Discovery was awesome. Thanks."
Thank you. You know, so you have groups like PETA and the Humane Society of the United States that are pretty. I mean, they're out there. They're extremist groups. Yeah, almost militant. You know, and definitely not afraid to break laws to kind of bring down and hate on people who keep reptiles the way they don't. The funny thing is that attitude, I see it throughout the hobby all the time. There are so many. I was getting text messages today. I'm an admin on the US Dwarf and Super Dwarf page on Facebook, and I'll tell you guys, I almost never go on Facebook anymore just because it seems like a debate forum and a whine and complain forum for the most part, and I have so many other things that I can do with my life, you know. But the attitude of, hey, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to tell you how to live your life, and I'm going to tell you everything that you're doing wrong, and obviously you're a moron and an evil person, and you hate your animals if you do anything different than me. That's an attitude that I don't respect, and that seems to be kind of the saturating feel that you get from extremist animal rights groups. So I don't appreciate that. I think anybody that's trying to tell somebody else how to live their life and bring about, just like sneaky, dirty ways, like, trespassing, taking pictures, turning them in, trying to get them caught, stuff like that. It'd be like you guys framing your neighbors and calling the cops on them all the time. Like, what good neighbor does that? You know what I'm saying? There are better ways to do things. I think what Lori Tarini is doing, we were just talking about, inspiring people to put them in bigger cages is the way to do that. I don't think that you launch a smear campaign for that. Do good stuff, be the best that you can, share your passion with other people, and let that be infectious and exciting for them to want to follow. That's where those groups are missing out, and there's a lot of really well-meaning people in there. Like, I get very angry when I see animal abuse, or if you go to a show and people have sick animals on display, or, there's always drama. I get a lot of it behind the scenes. I don't talk about it because it would be unprofessional, but people saying that they bought this snake from so-and-so, and now they found out it's so misrepresented, and what can they do? And they come to me because they've been watching my videos all along, and I'm like, you've already paid that person to go and do it again with somebody else. If you've been watching the videos all along, you should have been educated enough to avoid that circumstance in the first place and realize that you could buy a super door from us, you could buy a super door from someone else, you can buy them wherever you want. It's a free country, it's your money, you do what you want. But I love the way Eric Burke always puts it. You guys who are buying the animals, vote with your dollar who stays in the industry and who goes. Because if people are getting in it and they're in it for the money and they're using the animals as commodities that they don't care about, and they like to hate on what other people are doing wrong rather than encouraging new people to come in and do it right and stuff like that, you're keeping those people here when you support them on various platforms, or like if you super chat dance. Don't super chat us if you don't like what we're doing. You're only encouraging us to keep doing it. It helps me to hire more staff, to bring better quality, connect with you guys more. I mean, here we are, 6:30. I worked through last night, pulled an all-nighter. I was already working when these guys came in this morning. And, here we are doing this, and then I'm going to connect with my Patreon group after this, because I like to connect with you guys, and you guys are supporting us to do it just by, if you're watching this video and you hit the like button right now. We got 39 likes and 102 people watching right now. It really is the best way. If you guys like the content, you've seen the stuff, you want to learn more from us on Super Dwarfs, hit the like button. Share a video with your friends when they ask a question. Copy the link and paste it for them so they can find it easily. That's the best way to spread information and encourage the right people. Animal rights groups, I think that the agendas of shutting other people down or telling them how to live their lives without really trying to understand them is wrong. I think, though, that their heart comes from the right place. These are people who are generally absolutely in love with animals, the welfare of the animals, the mental and physical health of keeping animals, and that's great. The problem is you have kind of the mudslinging few dictating how those organizations are run, and then a lot of well-meaning people fall into those organizations because we all want to see animals live better lives, and the whole idea of captivity and the way it's spun in media, like it's prison and it's this and it's that, it's never meant to be that way. What I always loved when I was falling in love with the idea of keeping animals, it was when I would watch say documentaries on native groups that are living in the Amazon, and they've rescued a parrot and raised it up, and it now flies around the jungle but comes back to them and eats dinner with their family, and they're just basically sharing the space with these animals, sharing their lives. I think that benefits us. I think it benefits the animal done in the right way, but it only will benefit you if you try to understand the animal more today than you did yesterday. And it will only benefit the animal if you don't say, hey, let me take this animal and conveniently fit it into the space that I have, or the schedule that I have, or the agenda that I have. And you say, me as a caretaker of this animal, having removed it from its wild ecosystem where it has its perfect surrounding of everything that it needs, I now need to change the way I live or what I do to fit that animal's needs. If you can do that, and if everybody can do that, I don't see any reason why human and animal relations would not be beneficial to both species. The problem is when we just try to dominate them or use them as new toys or check out my new accessory, or, and I think that's why it's distasteful if people put clothing on animals and what I mean, and talk about them all cutesy and stuff. I don't have a problem with that if the animal is enjoying it, but what you do is you portray the animal as a thing and not a being, like an inanimate object that's there for your entertainment. That's the distasteful side of it, so, and there's a lot of people that are breeders of animals, that's what they do, that's what they encourage, that's their personality. It permeates every other area of their life, and you can see that, So, I don't know. That's my take. I think animal rights groups come from a good heart, and the fact that they exist means we do need to change for the better in this industry. That's my probably unpopular opinion. Their existence is because of what we do poorly. If we did everything right, there would be no need for them to exist at all. So you hate PETA, you hate HSUS, they hate you too. You do you better and they'll go away. Do it to the best of your possible ability and watch the world change. I think it would be very exciting. So that's what I think.
Wow, hot takes much?
Yeah, sorry. I
No, that was great.
starting a little heated there at the end.
No, that was great.
Yeah. Who's next?
People are talking about.
Let's fight.
Somebody said in the chat, Rose B said, thoughts on this new Happy Dragon website. I don't know if you've heard of that yet.
I haven't. What is it? Did you check it out?
I haven't checked it out, but the same person said it's like Morph Market, but with higher standards for breeders. They ban morphs like, I don't know if this is a misspelling, but Spidette.
It's probably spider, yeah. Spider ball
I don't
pythons.
know how they're going to enforce things like enrichment.
Yeah, I to be honest, I haven't seen it. I will tell you that we don't not just use Morph Market. I think Morph Market is a good platform. I'm not as much about the platform, like giving power to a central person to dictate everyone else's lives. I'm more about like, let's come together as a community and do a better job. I think John Lehman has done a fantastic job with Morph Market, and like I said, has really advanced the hobby and empowered the little guy. But by that same token, you're going to have problems when people who really shouldn't be in the animal industry are allowed to continue that way. However, it ultimately is the buyer. Again, you vote with your dollar who stays and who goes. If you like that platform better and you think all the good breeders are there, go find them. But I would do the research on the breeder. It doesn't really matter where they advertise, or like us, we don't advertise at all. It's really, you're just trying to find, instead of saying, I think we have a minimalist attitude when it comes to meeting regulations. Like the question, what's the smallest cage I can keep this snake in? That's a wrong question from the start. What you want to say is like, what kind of enclosure can I provide, and what animal would really thrive in that kind of enclosure? And that's a better way to do it. So, if you, instead of saying we get this question all the time, Garrett, I want to buy a super dwarf from somebody else, but I don't want to get ripped off. How do I do that? First of all, I don't know why you would ask me how to do it if you don't want to buy a snake from me. I don't get that. Like, you're kind of saying I respect your opinion, but I don't respect you enough to help you continue what you're doing. And I want to encourage someone else to do that. But if you can find a breeder who, like, let's say you're getting, I know Family Jewels was talking about they want to get an indigo snake or some kind of Drymarchon. Who really champions Drymarchon? Who is the best breeder, who is super passionate about the species, that takes really good care of their animals, their bloodlines, their genetics, teaches other people, is super helpful in customer service? If you can find that person for Drymarchon, that's who you should buy from, not somebody else. So find who's the best at what they do according to what you think is making the world a better place, and reward that person financially. If you spend, maybe this Drymarchon's $1,250 and I found it for $9.99 from a sickly guy that's trying to rip me off and flip this thing at a pet shop, why would you not want to pay the $1,250 and get the really good one and now have a lifelong relationship with that breeder? Flexin' Pythons is in here. He's got a snake shipping out to him today. And, I watch his YouTube stuff. I love that. I love the stuff that he's doing. And so we back and forth about that a little bit. And, we now have, we just talked really for the first time today, other than me commenting on a few of his videos and him making videos about a couple of our videos. But why wouldn't you want that relationship with that person, that you've supported them, that you appreciate them, and you show it by putting your money where your mouth is? So, yeah, find the people who are doing the best and do that. If you don't like the way that we keep our super dwarves and you love the way that Lori keeps her super dwarves, say, you know what? I'm going to take what Lori does and see if I can make it a little bit better and even top that. When we did the snake discovery enclosure, I was up against a lot of really good people that I very much respected in as far as their abilities to design these enclosures. And so I was like, I had a pretty good idea of what I thought they would do, not to a perfect degree, but I knew their style and everything. So I'm like, how can I meet them where they're at and then even do a little bit more? I think an active water feature and a nostalgic type of build that brings in actual history. I had some of my grandfather's tools that I put in this little tool shed section and brought it back to a story of my childhood so that people could learn to appreciate animals even in their natural surroundings, or I should say native surroundings, because it was not natural. It was an artificial surrounding, but it's the way that we found the reptiles. It's like,
I'm trying to hold back from making a joke about your grandfather's tools.
do it. But no, I mean, Lori's caging was awesome, and I love what she does. But what if you what if you got a super dwarf like TC, the one that she has, and you built a cage like Lori has, and you trained it to do even cooler tricks, and you gave it a bird-like playground on top of the cage that it could climb around on? I don't know. Go find some stuff. Go do that. Do those things. And take it to the next level. Tag her in a video, ask her to share it on her homepage that, hey, look, Lori, I took everything you said and I added 3 elements. Would you mind sharing this on social media? It helps me grow my influence so that I can in turn encourage somebody else to one up this. I encourage people always ask me, where do you get your boxes? You know what I mean? They're custom. We design them and make them. We work with Stewart Design. We pay a lot of money. You obviously can't go buy that off a shelf somewhere. We test them for, safety and crushability and the loads and all that kind of stuff. So you can't just get it. But I like that you like my design. I like that you appreciate our unboxing experience where we set the animals up to arrive into your hands with intrinsic value conveyed. You know what I mean? This snake is very sentimental. Here's a letter. I usually say something to the effect of why I love the animal and will you please take care of it for me, on a little birth certificate with all the information about the parents. And we put that in there versus someone that's like, hey, I can ship a snake for $1.50. I love that you like that, but don't do what I did. Go do your own thing. Do it better. Get the style of box if you like it, but put your own branding on there, figuring out how it's always going to stand out. Like I said, we do what we do because I don't get to meet you in person. But if I'm going to deliver a snake to you, hey, check it out. Your Reach Out Reptiles box is in the mail. You ready for the unboxing? You know what I'm saying? And you can open it up and check it out. I can't deliver this to you through the screen. So this is going to be the first thing that you touch, that you smell, that you see, that you ever get from Reach Out Reptiles if you're buying from us online. I do that so that even if you sold every other snake in your collection because hard times happen, you would have a really hard time passing one of my babies on because you remember how special that animal is. You could see it in the way that it arrived. And if that's why I do it, you're gonna see that. And then if someone else had the same kind of box and you can tell they did it because they were copying Garrett, you lost it. You lost the whole heart of the matter, and that's the part that matters, is the heart. What is your heart at? What do you want in your unboxing? What do you want for your customers? Figure out how you can communicate what's in your heart to the people around you and do it better. That's where PETA and HSUS are failing. Their heart is right. Their methods are poor. They're not doing a very good job of saying, take care of my baby. They're just saying, I hate you and what you do and what you stand for, and try to shut you down. It's crazy. I don't know. I need to dance this one off. I'm getting a little heated, guys. Somebody has to super chat us or something. But
I was sitting there and I'd gotten a little distracted and I was like, kind of came back to what you were
Garrett
talking
still
about.
going?
I was like, how did we get here? Like, he's talking about our boxes and our shipping. I was like, did someone ask a question and I missed it?
No, I'm just
You're very
kind of
comprehensive.
yeah. I answered all your questions at once in the first one. Sorry.
You're good.
Oh man. All right. What do you got?
Well, we got 5 minutes until we should start doing our snake naming.
Okay, so what's your question? Bring it.
Let's
What do we
see.
got?
I'd seen one earlier, but I lost it.
Alyssa says, my diet is plant-based for the animals, but mostly for the planet. But I'll never be vegan because my snake and geckos need to eat. Yeah, that vegan word is a little bit tricky. And I a lot of times I will tell like servers and stuff like that, like, well, I'm vegan, or if we're gonna go eat over at someone's house, I say I'm vegan because it's kind of an all-encompassing word. I can eat vegan anywhere, and that's the way that I do it. But basically, and this kind of goes back to it, I think that as somebody who says that they care about the animals and the planet, I see a problem with like large-scale factory farming and agricultural animal raising. I think a lot of us want to get our neatly packaged little meat from the grocery store and not see where it came from. Like they'll let you pick a lobster out of a tank and it's all just clean and glass and it's like a sterile environment. But if you saw like where the cows and pigs that you're eating came from, you might not be as appetized.
Super chat.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Woohoo!
I
But
also had a comment about
rant and rave. Thanks, Mr. Marissa's.
there was a question from a little while back that we never got to. It was favorite takeout food, and I thought that fits because we were talking about you being vegan.
Yeah, the
So
Thai
where's your
food and all that
favorite-
stuff.
Where's your favorite vegan takeout that is vegan?
I mean, a lot of kind of like ethnic foods if it's good. I like to eat anything if it's done well. So that being said, I am like plant-based, and it's funny, I worked in a steel mill when I first made that decision. The guys were making fun of me. I'm eating a salad, and they're like, what if a bug fell in there? Ha, 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 you wouldn't be vegan anymore. And I looked at this room full of dudes, and I'm like, raise your hand if you've ever intentionally cooked and eaten an insect. And I was the only one in the room that had. And I'm like, okay, give me a break. Now, you guys are, ridiculous. I've eaten things that you would, all you eat is 3 species. You eat chickens, pigs, and cows. And I've lived around the world and done that kind of stuff. So even when we say vegan, I still hunt and fish because they are regulated in an appropriate way, not trophy hunting, but hunting for meat. That animal was organic and it was raised in the natural environment. There was no land cleared for that animal. And then even from the environmental aspect of it, and then even from the standpoint of the humane way that animal died and sacrificed his life so that I could have nutrition, myself and my family, I took that responsibility on myself, and it's never pleasant, but I feel better knowing that animal died a quick death by my hand than getting a neatly packaged, pre-done thing that I almost don't appreciate the living sacrifice that happens that I can eat in that package. So it was just that lifestyle choice just really better fit the way I feel about the world. It wasn't easy, because everyone's like, so vegan, huh? Yeah, but bacon, And the truth of the matter is we eat plant-based almost all the time, but I don't know, I'll go fishing and have a few fish fillets that last me throughout the year, or a buddy of mine will get a deer because I haven't been out hunting or something like that.
Jeff
we do the
Lem's,
venison.
Jeff Lem's fish tacos were pretty.
Oh man, yeah, we went to
ethically
go.
sourced,
Yep.
amazingly cooked.
Yep. So yeah, he line fished those things and cooked us up some fish, and man, that's amazing. I live for that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to, cut the factory farming side out of it. And if we can do that in the hobby too, in a way that you still have to be efficient in the way, like if we got 500 snakes, they have to be clean. They need to be sanitized. We have to work not to be spreading diseases around. We all see that in the world today. So there's certain things that you have to do on a large scale that you don't really have to think about on a small scale. But I don't want to lose the heart of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I think, our biggest struggle. I think that's why we're kind of redesigning cages that fit for the animals better. We're trying to get a bigger facility, just trying to keep growing. And we couldn't do it without any of you guys. All of you guys that are watching. Got 118 people now. Ooh, and 89 likes. That's a lot.
132 people watching.
Oh, I got it.
One last question.
Okay.
If you got another thing to say, I'll wait till that.
Nope. Do it.
Here, let me unmute myself so I'm a little louder. All right, guys. I know a lot of you guys have been asking, when are we going to sell those new enclosures that we've been talking about, or are we going to sell them? Can you give us a little version of that? Everybody's been asking, and this time actually
Lavera gave
everybody's
us a
been asking.
dislike. Thanks, Nick. That's a tough question. Supply chains stink right now because of the whole COVID thing. So currently we are designing and testing the cages out on our own animals so that I can make little tweaks as we go along the way. Like I said in last week's video, you'll have to go back and watch it. We have a production prototype, but we've taken kind of the standard box. We are applying it to smaller animals than they're usually meant for, but we've turned everything inside out. Every cage that I've ever had has some kind of injury it gives the snakes. These ones are built with the snake in mind first, and then the style and design of it follows that. So, and ease of cleaning and everything else. So pretty excited for the new cages. Actually, they're pretty stout. The animals love them. Even my most like annoying, like a lot of retic males that are trying to get back to females and stuff, they push on their cage. They're trying to escape and get to those girls, and they just don't hurt themselves in these cages. We put our most annoying ones in there, and they're really doing well. So I'm pretty excited first to nail down a design that keeps the animals in a healthier way. And then we can kind of start to apply some of the psychology of what we're wanting to do. You know, we're working in 600 square feet of space right here. And this building that we're trying to get is 6,500 square feet. So it's going to be a major, major upgrade for animals. And I want to see if I can efficiently commercially breed, because I don't have a day job. In fact, nobody else that works here has another day job except for some of our remote workers like G.I. Joe and Kim. But everyone else, this business supports my family, those guys, their families. It's pretty amazing when we do the employee things. There's like 30 people here. I'm like, I can't believe this. The snakes support this, that you guys are supporting this. But can I do that in a way that still honors the animal? That's what I'm working towards. That's what we want to define. And then that's what we'll encourage. And you know what? Slap me if I'm ever like the guy like, oh, these guys, they don't keep their cages like that. Do it. Hit it. You know, I don't ever want to begrudge what somebody else is doing. It's more like, come on, look how exciting this is. It's so much fun. It's so viable. It's so great. You know, it's, you know, and moving into that kind of a mindset is really what we want to do. Eric Blick, what's up, buddy? Eric just got his animals in this morning, right? So, yeah, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. So, yeah, we very much appreciate all your guys' support. I am going to try to bring some of these cages. What I want to do is hopefully displace some of the poorly designed cages that are commonly available out there with a little bit better design in the same kind of a price range, because I want to hit where people are used to, you know, and then if I can take any profits from that kind of stuff while improving animals' lives, then I can reapply it to research and development of kind of some next generation methods of keeping that I think is going to be better for everybody. I already have a lot of ideas for that, but it requires major funding. So the best way you guys can do that, the super chats are awesome. A like, a follow, a share on a video, join our Patreon. Yeah, comment on here, comment on the other videos, share those things around. That helps us get going. If you can afford to buy a snake from us, we would love to work together with you to find the right animal that you can be really happy with based on your lifestyle, which again is why I don't advertise on any of those platforms or anything. I always want to fill it out. Oh, it's Phil Thompson. Fill it out. I was looking at Phil's name. I always want to make sure the animal's a good fit. What's up, Phil? We definitely need some super chat dance. What kind of music do we need for super chat dance?
Oh man, we got 30 bones from Lavera Exotics. We need some like heavy
thanks, Nick.
EDM.
Woo, man.
You,
All
Lavera
right.
Exotics.
Big
That
fan
might
of
be
the R. Miss you too, buddy.
biggest
Yeah.
style we've got.
Let's name some snakes. Yeah, should we?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if my kids would let me name the corn snakes. Nah, that's sacrilegious. They should name
A
their
little
own.
bit.
Yeah. All right, come over here. Tell me. I want you to counter some of my opinions.
Counter some of your opinions?
Yep. Yeah, while I go get a snake.
What kind of opinions do you want me to counter?
Veganism. You're not a vegan.
Veganism?
I eat meat, you murderer.
I think I just live in like blissful ignorance, which may make me a terrible person in some ways.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things that, like for most people, it's like trying to understand what living in poverty is like. Like in the United States, for example, it's hard for people to comprehend like how people in really poor areas of Africa or South America are actually living. So I think that's what it's like for me with veganism a little bit, just because it's not like the majority of people aren't vegan. So it's not like as accepted or promoted as, every other thing in life that we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, you live in Nebraska and you can't see how there's no more buffaloes or anything because it's not right in your face.
I understand.
Sorry.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, no. Right? Okay, just
We treat
kidding.
our corn very ethically.
Just messy. Slap me. Remember I said slap me if I ever...
No, you gotta turn it the other way. No, you gotta like give it that. You give it some more service area.
Oh, man.
Get
So
a sturdy
cruel.
cheek.
Jeez. All right. I do have a sturdy cheek. Did I hurt you?
No, I was just like, that was a lot firmer than I was expecting. I don't know.
Yeah. Strong jaws. That's why my wife married me. All right. So here's what we have. I guess I have to turn all this stuff off, huh? I'm not allowed to look anymore. I'm going to turn your comments off here. This is always anonymous, but
Hold it up to the camera.
what we have here is
Set the focus.
this is a Mochino female. And she's Posset Snow. She's my super clean holdback. A lot of Jampea influence in her pattern is why I kept her. She's not a super dwarf. She is just, one of the girls that I held back to kind of get that jampy look in there, and we'll have to bring the percentages up later. This is a project that has taken it's taken a while to get in there. So she's gorgeous. I love those big silver side spears. Tons of contrast. Just looking good. So what do you guys think I should name this girl?
All right, keep it right there. Oh.
This girl needs to be
Alright,
put this
did you
girl on the
explain how
Mac
the
and let
game
her get
works?
big. Oh yeah. Fire away in the comments section. Thomas is going to read off some names, whichever one I like first. We're going to name this one. And then if you send us an email saying I named such so-and-so snake, I'll send you a picture of myself with this snake that you can use on social media, print it out, put it on your wall, do whatever you want. Burn it, whatever it is. The email is info@reachoutreptiles.com. It is in the description. So send us an email. Let us know that you named the snake, and we'll reply with a picture of me and the snake and your name in there for you.
Lots of submissions already.
Go. We're a little laggy, so you have to give us a minute. Just throw your stuff out there quick. We'll do her, and we'll do one more. We're 2 minutes over time, but we were 5 minutes late getting started, weren't we?
Exactly.
Let's bring it.
Right. Hold on.
Names.
Scroll wheel is
Names.
not functioning very well.
Come on,
All
scroll
right,
wheel.
Butterscotch, Hocus Pocus, in honor of fall, s'mores or marshmallow, pumpkin, PSL.
Pumpkin is cute.
Lightning, Mochino, so pretty, bean like coffee bean, Amber, Lotus, Solara, Versace. She looks like Lil Nas X's jumpsuit. Alaska, Tequila, Sienna, Espresso, Butterscotch is good too. Crocus, Toffee, Roxy. I also like Versace.
Yeah,
Popcorn.
I got okay. We're gonna go with Versace.
Hold on,
I like that
let's go.
one.
Versace is a nice one.
Go ahead.
You know what Versace is, right?
Huh? Yes, let's do it. That's cute. I like it. Versace. All right, we're gonna name her. Read a couple more out if they didn't even
I
get
gotta
to there.
remember who it is.
Let's hear it.
Horn
Maybe we'll have an upset.
Gatekeeper. Horn Gatekeeper, send us an email and we
Okay.
will send you a picture.
Versace.
And post you on our story if you give us your Instagram and your express permission.
I don't know that I know how to spell that. VERSACE. Versace. Boy, Rob is not gonna be able to pronounce that one. He doesn't do the international accents very well.
It's true. I don't think
Versace.
his Italian's too strong.
Check it out. Now. All right, let's grab one more. You guys ready for this? Thomas, up on camera.
What is it? What are you bringing out?
I don't know.
You're just gonna grab something right now?
Yeah, something out of me.
Well, now that you close the screen, I'm just sitting there staring at the camera.
Yeah, I feel
Oh, and it's probably not even focused or anything.
should tell them about some of the stuff that we're going through. Oh, tell them about
Oh.
our current status on Patreon.
Our current status on Patreon? Remind me what that is. We're almost to 100? We are one away from 100. So if you want to be our 100th Patreon currently, hop on there. Link is in the description. We have a lot of fun in that community. We post a lot of behind the scenes kind of content. We post something called Dwarf of the Day, which is just like Dwarf of the Day on Instagram. But we go into detail and have a little bit of fun with it. We also do, what else do we do for Patreon people? We do exclusive live streams twice a month. What's up? That's true. So you'll have to look at the perks, but some of the perks, some of the levels have exclusive live streams. And yeah, it's just a fun time.
Ideas out too. Like I think we were gonna try to see who from our Patreon was all gonna go to Tinley this year, and see if we can't get together for either some coffee or a dinner or something like that, and just have some fun together. All right, check this guy out. So next name Snake. This boy is a platinum Sunfire Phantom, and we actually have a little, like his little brother for sale right now. But this is cool because these color enhancing genes, as you ball python people would call them, really don't kick in till later with retics. So if you look at the hatchling, I think out of clutch 21010 this year, you can see how kind of dull they start out. They're not actually dull at all, but compared to the vibrant gold of this guy, you know, and he's actually 100% head annery and 100% head albino. So we got a lot going on with this dude. He's going to be pretty important. It's produced by my buddy John Cashman. So it's a male, and he's going into the breeding program this year. Hopefully, we got the right female for him. So what should we name him?
All right, we're getting some names in. Gold member, Tapioca.
Gold member. Tapioca. Okay.
It's Mexico's birthday. Chichen.
All
The
right.
Sunset Kid, Casar with a Q. Goldenrod, Honey Nugget, Tiberius. I like Sunset Kid. Celeborn. He's like a Canadian loony. Call him Loony.
Honey Nugget.
Smoothie.
Honey Nugget is making me laugh for some reason.
I'll throw a few more.
Keep going.
Apollo, Arum, means gold. Supernova, Gleam, Colonel Mustard, Bumblebee, Bolt, Dijon, Sundance Kid, Supernova, name him Cusco, Sunbeam, Thor, love Colonel Mustard. I actually kind of like the Colonel Mustard one too.
I think I'm going to go with Colonel Mustard.
Right,
And then if
see
we
what
do
else.
make an annery one with him, we can name it Grey Poupon. So Colonel Mustard. Who said Colonel Mustard on this one? I like it. I like it. Send us an email. We'll send you a picture.
Shannon Eggendorfer.
Shannon won that one. All right, Shannon. Nicely done. That's not... Did you win another one too? That's pretty funny. Colonel Mustard. Gold member was pretty good.
Isn't that like what's that?
It's like
James
Goldfinger.
Bond spoof?
It's a... Yeah.
What's it called?
Goldfinger.
No, but who's the what's the thing called? It's
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Gold member.
I love it. All right, you want to sign us off?
Yeah, I will run back and forth quick. All right, guys. Thank you for your questions today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping the chat moving. And just, thank you for being part of our community. If you want to hop on Patreon, it's in the description. What's up?
You might get G.I. Joe in here.
Oh, yeah, next week. Oh, we might get some other guests. We're talking about trying to see if we can bring on some,
Bring some folks on.
kind of
for
get
the
almost a live podcast, maybe
Yeah.
type of vibe.
Wow, this is
So,
Aiden's chair.
Here,
Look at the difference.
you get. Oh man,
Hold on.
your legs are dangling.
I know. I gotta go from Aiden down to.
His legs are dangling.
Yeah, that I didn't know that chair goes up so high. All right, guys. Thank you again, especially for like I said, just I don't know. I'm blown away by your guys' support. I wouldn't be able to live the life that I'm living without you guys. So hopefully, us sharing it on this platform, it's the best way I can figure out to kind of give back to you. I know that. I mean, I've done it myself with other YouTubers before we got into this. You get home from a long day, you just kind of want to kick back and hang out and chill and watch someone else do that. It is a lot of work. Like I said, we worked straight through last night. So at times it can be very stressful. We're definitely going through that right now. But we appreciate your support in everything as we try to, I don't know, I feel like we can make a bigger difference the more influence we have. So every time you like the video, every time you comment, every time you share, join in on Patreon. Get us past that 100 members on Patreon. That would be great. It's such a cool community to hang out with. And I love you guys.